The killer who lived with the victim after the murder. There are murders committed in rage, murders committed for money, murders committed for revenge. But there is something far more disturbing than all of them. It is the killer who does not run, the killer who does not hide, the killer who continues living in the same house, sleeping in the same bed, eating at the same table, as if nothing happened. Tonight, we examine one of the most psychologically disturbing categories of crime: the murderer who remains beside the victim long after the life has left their body. And the question is not just how, the question is why. Chapter 1: The Illusion of Normalcy. The most terrifying criminals are not the ones hiding in shadows. They are the ones smiling in daylight. When someone commits murder and then continues living in the victim's home, they are doing something extremely deliberate. They are not panicked. They are not disorganized. They are controlled. This behavior tells investigators something crucial. The killer believes they are smarter than everyone else. Psychologists call this post-offense normalization. It is a calculated performance. The dishes are washed. The television is turned on. Phone calls are answered. Neighbors are greeted. The killer performs normal life while death sits quietly in the background. This is not chaos. This is control. Chapter 2: Why stay? A rational person asks, why not leave? Because leaving creates suspicion. Remaining creates confusion. When someone disappears, the first question is always, who was closest to them? So the killer becomes the grieving partner, the worried roommate, the concerned spouse. They join search parties, they speak to the press, they cry on camera, and sometimes they are convincing. Remaining in the home allows them to control the narrative. They can move evidence, destroy evidence, stage scenes, alter timelines. They can say, she left in the middle of the night. He was depressed. She needed space. The house becomes both crime scene and shield. Chapter 3: The Psychology of Proximity. There is something deeper happening. Some killers do not leave because they cannot let go. Possession does not end with death. In certain domestic murders, especially intimate partner killings, the crime is about control. When the victim dies, control does not disappear, it transforms. Living in the same space becomes a twisted extension of ownership. You cannot leave me. You cannot escape. You are still here. This is not grief. This is domination continuing beyond death. Psychologists often find narcissistic traits in these offenders, a belief that they are superior, untouchable, above consequence. They do not see themselves as criminals. They see themselves as authors of reality. Chapter 4: The Mask of Grief. In many cases, the killer becomes the loudest voice demanding justice. They post tributes online. They organize vigils. They cry publicly. This serves two purposes. First, it deflects suspicion. Second, it feeds their ego. They are at the center of attention. They control the story. They become the face of tragedy. Investigators often say something chilling. The person who talks the most is sometimes the one hiding the most. But here's the problem. Grief looks different on everyone. So how do you distinguish genuine pain from performance? Body language, timeline inconsistencies, behavioral leakage. No performance is perfect forever. Eventually, cracks appear. Chapter 5: The Smell of Truth. In some real cases, the killer lived with the victim's body for days, sometimes weeks. The human body begins to decompose quickly. Odor spreads, fluids leak, insects arrive. And yet, the killer remains. This tells us something chilling: desensitization. When someone can coexist with decomposition, it indicates either extreme psychological detachment or complete emotional shutdown. It is not normal. It is not accidental. It is a mind that has crossed a line most humans cannot imagine. Chapter 6. The Fatal Mistake. Despite the arrogance, these cases often unravel the same way. Time. Time exposes lies. Phones record movement. Security cameras capture exits. Digital footprints track searches. Financial transactions reveal motive. The killer who believes they are smarter than everyone eventually forgets one thing. Technology does not forget. Investigators reconstruct timelines with precision, and the house that once shielded the killer becomes the strongest evidence against them. Blood does not fully disappear. DNA lingers, fibers remain, and one inconsistency can destroy an entire performance. Chapter 7. The Psychological Collapse. When confronted, many of these offenders break in one of two ways. Some double down. They deny everything. They blame everyone else. Others confess suddenly, not because of guilt, but because the illusion is over. Their control is gone. The narrative no longer belongs to them. For someone driven by dominance, that loss is unbearable. Chapter 8. The Dark Truth. Here's the uncomfortable reality. The killer who stays is not always a monster in appearance. They often look ordinary. They go to work. They attend church. They smile in photographs. Evil does not always announce itself. Sometimes it sleeps beside you. And the most dangerous place is not the dark alley. It is the familiar home where nothing seems wrong until it is. Chapter 9. Lessons Hidden in Horror. These cases force society to confront uncomfortable truths. Intimate violence is often hidden behind normal routines. Control can masquerade as love. Charm can disguise cruelty. Warning signs often appear long before tragedy. Isolation from friends, extreme jealousy, financial control, emotional manipulation. But hindsight is always clearer than reality. Chapter 10. Final Reflection. The killer who lived with the victim after the murder represents more than a crime. It represents deception at its highest level. It is the weaponization of normalcy. And perhaps the most disturbing truth is this: the human mind is capable of constructing a peaceful routine around horror. A dinner table can sit above buried secrets. A couch can hide evidence beneath it. A smile can conceal a calculated lie. The question is not just how someone could do this. The question is how many signs we overlook every day because they feel too familiar to question. That's the dark truth.